The front door creaked open, and Mark Winters froze in the entryway. There, on her hands and knees scrubbing his kitchen floor, was Catherine Bennett, the same Catherine Bennett who signed his paychecks, who ran board meetings with Fortune 500 executives, whose net worth had 8 zeros attached to it. The CEO of Horizon Technologies was cleaning his modest home, and for one bewildering moment, Mark wondered if exhaustion had finally caused him to hallucinate. If you're feeling as shocked as Mark right now, hit that like button and subscribe to see more stories that will touch your heart in ways you never expected. Trust me, you'll want to stay until the end of this one. Mark had been working 60-hour weeks since his wife Emma passed away 8 months ago. Between his job as a mid-level software developer at Horizon Technologies and raising his 7-year-old daughter Lily alone, he barely had time to breathe, let alone keep their small 3-bedroom house in order. The dishes piled up. Laundry overflowed. Dust gathered on picture frames that held memories of happier times. "Ms. Bennett?" Mark's voice cracked as he set down his laptop bag. "What are you doing in my house?" Catherine looked up, a strand of her usually perfectly styled hair falling across her face. For the first time since he'd known her, she wasn't wearing her trademark power suit but instead jeans and an old t-shirt. Her hands were red from the cleaning solution. "Mark," she said, standing up quickly. "You're home early." Parent-teacher conference was cancelled, he explained automatically, still trying to process the scene before him. "How did you? Why are you?" Catherine Bennett, the woman known throughout the tech industry as the Iron Lady, suddenly looked uncertain. She set down her sponge and wiped her hands on a towel. "I should explain," she said. Mark nodded, still stunned. His mind raced through possibilities. Was this some bizarre new management technique? Had he done something wrong at work? Was he being fired in the strangest way possible? "Lily called me," Catherine said simply. "Lily? My daughter called you?" Mark's confusion deepened. "How does she even have your number?" Catherine gestured toward the living room. "Maybe we should sit down." The living room was immaculate, cleaner than it had been since Emma was alive. The throw pillows were arranged neatly on the couch. The coffee table gleamed. Even the family photos had been dusted and straightened. 2 weeks ago, Catherine began as they sat down, "Your daughter called the main company line. She told the receptionist she needed to speak to the boss about her daddy." Mark felt his face flush with embarrassment. "I'm so sorry. I had no idea." Catherine held up her hand. "Please, let me finish. The call got routed to my assistant, who was about to dismiss it, but I happened to be walking by. I took the call." Mark tried to imagine his precocious 7-year-old speaking to the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company and winced. "Lily told me that her daddy works too hard and is too tired to clean the house, but that he gets sad when it's messy because it reminds him that mommy isn't here anymore." Catherine's voice softened. She asked if I could give her daddy a day off so he could clean the house and be happy again. Mark felt his throat tighten. Since Emma died of cancer, he'd tried so hard to keep it together in front of Lily. He thought he'd been hiding his grief well. "I told Lily I couldn't give you a day off right away because you were working on an important project," Catherine continued. "But I promised her I would help another way. She gave me your address and asked me not to tell you she called." "So you came here to clean my house?" Mark asked, still struggling to comprehend. Catherine nodded. "I was going to be gone before you got home. I didn't want to embarrass you." "But you're the CEO," Mark said. "You run a company with thousands of employees. Why would you do this yourself?" Catherine was quiet for a moment, looking at the family photo on the wall, Mark, Emma, and Lily at the beach, all smiles and sunburned noses. 20 years ago, I was you," she said finally. "A single parent trying to hold everything together after my husband died. Except I didn't have a good job like you do. I was cleaning houses during the day and taking coding classes at night while my mother watched my son." Mark stared at her. In all the company newsletters and business magazine profiles, this part of Catherine Bennett's story had never been mentioned. One day, she continued, I was so exhausted I fell asleep during a client's cleaning job. The woman who owned the house found me asleep on her couch. Instead of firing me, she watched my son for the rest of the day and let me sleep. That simple act of kindness changed everything for me. It gave me the strength to keep going. Mark felt the first tear slide down his cheek before he even realized he was crying. When Lily called, Catherine said, I heard myself in her voice. I heard my son from 20 years ago, worried about his mom. And I remembered that woman who showed me kindness when I needed it most. More tears came now, and Mark didn't try to stop them. The pressure of the past 8 months, the grief, the exhaustion, the loneliness, the struggle to be both mother and father to Lily, it all came pouring out. I don't know what to say, he managed. You don't have to say anything, Catherine replied. But there is something else. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a folded piece of paper. Horizon Technologies is implementing a new family support program for employees. Flexible hours, work-from-home options, and household assistance for single parents and those caring for ill family members. She handed him the paper. You're the first employee to be enrolled. Starting next week, you'll have a cleaning service twice a month and the option to work from home 2 days a week. Mark unfolded the paper with trembling hands. It was an official company memo, already signed and approved. Why? He whispered. Because Horizon's greatest asset is its people, Catherine said. And people need support to do their best work. This isn't charity, Mark. It's good business. Your code quality has dropped 18% in the last 6 months. I'm betting it will improve when you're not trying to do everything alone. The front door opened again, and Lily's voice called out, Daddy? Are you home early? She appeared in the living room doorway, her backpack still on, having just been dropped off by the after-school program van. Her eyes widened when she saw Catherine. You're the lady from the phone, she exclaimed. Catherine smiled. Hello, Lily. I was just helping your dad with something. Lily looked around at the clean house, then at her father's tear-streaked face. Her small brow furrowed with concern. Daddy, why are you crying? Are you sad? Mark shook his head and opened his arms. Lily dropped her backpack and ran to him, climbing onto his lap. No, sweetheart, he said, holding her tight. Sometimes people cry when they're thankful. And I'm very, very thankful right now. Lily looked up at him with Emma's eyes. So you're happy? Yes, Mark said, and realized it was true. For the first time in months, he felt a weight lifting. I'm happy. Catherine stood up. I should go. There's a casserole in the oven for dinner. It needs about 20 more minutes. Ms. Bennett, Mark called as she headed for the door. Catherine. Thank you. She turned back with a smile. Take care of that little girl. And Mark? Take care of yourself too. That's an order from your CEO. After she left, Mark and Lily sat together on the couch, looking around at their clean, peaceful home. Daddy? Lily asked in a small voice. Yes, sweetheart. Do you think Mommy would be happy that I called your boss lady? Mark felt fresh tears spring to his eyes, but they were different now, healing tears. Yes, he said, kissing the top of her head. Mommy would be very proud of you. And so am I. That night, for the first time since Emma died, Mark slept peacefully through the night. And when he woke up, he felt something he hadn't felt in a long time, hope. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. 6 months later, Mark stood in Catherine's office, presenting the new software his team had developed, on time and exceeding expectations. The family support program had been rolled out company-wide and was already showing results in employee retention and productivity. Excellent work, Catherine said when he finished. How's Lily? She's great, Mark replied with a genuine smile. She started a kindness club at school. Apparently, they go around doing secret good deeds for people who need help. Catherine laughed. Sounds like she takes after her father. Mark shook his head. Actually, I think she takes after you. As he left the office, Mark thought about how one act of kindness had created ripples that continued to spread. From Catherine's mentor 20 years ago, to Catherine helping him, to Lily starting her club, the chain of compassion continued. That evening, as Mark and Lily set the table for dinner, a task they now had energy and time to do together, his phone pinged with a notification. It was an email from HR announcing that Horizon Technologies had been named one of the best places to work in America, largely due to its innovative family support program. Attached was a photo of Catherine accepting the award, and in her speech, quoted in the email, she said, "This program was inspired by a 7-year-old girl who taught me that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is ask for help, and the most important thing we can do is offer it." Mark showed the email to Lily, who beamed with pride. "See, Daddy," she said. "I told you asking for help was a good idea." Mark pulled his daughter into a hug. "You were right, sweetheart. You were absolutely right." Outside their window, the sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. Mark thought of Emma, how much she would have loved this moment, and for once the thought brought more comfort than pain. Life would never be the same without her, but with Lily by his side and a community of support around them, it could still be beautiful. "What should we do this weekend?" Mark asked as they sat down to eat. Lily thought for a moment. "Can we bake cookies for the new family that moved in down the street? The mom looks tired, like you used to be." Mark smiled at his daughter, this amazing little person who had inherited her mother's compassion and somehow found the wisdom to save her father when he didn't even know he needed saving. "That sounds perfect," he said. "Absolutely perfect." If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content that celebrates the power of kindness and community. Remember, sometimes the smallest actions can change someone's entire world. Share this video with someone who might need a reminder that they're not alone.